Guys, how's it going? It is, I'm just keeping my voice down. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It's 9:59 p.m. on October 12th, 2017. And I just wanted to give you guys an update because I was planning and looking forward to doing some Run 8 tonight, but we had a family emergency over on my ex's side, so basically I had Emmett for tonight. He's in bed now, so hopefully he's sleeping and I'm not waking him. But anyways, just wanted to first of all say I was really looking forward to running tonight, which is good. But of course, you know, obviously priorities come first, and I will be doing that tomorrow, as far as I can tell. And if not, you know, if it comes down to where I'm watching Emmett, which is possible, then probably tomorrow night I'll let him do whatever he wants on his computer, and I will do Run 8 on mine, and we'll just go ahead and try that. But tonight I decided to, you know, basically spend as much time as I could with him, and he's doing fine. Everything's fine with him. It's just dealing with a few things going on. Ex-mother-in-law. Anyways, so I just wanted to take this time because I'm going to be going to bed very shortly because I got an earlier day tomorrow. But I did want to address something, and I planned on doing this tonight while I was running. Actually, I wasn't going to do it right away. I was looking forward to switching first and foremost. But it seems, you know, I try to say I don't care about what other people think. I think, personally, I strive to not worry about what people think. In other words, I try not to let other people's opinions bother me. But I think deep down inside, I do care. I do care. I do care about people. I do care about how they feel, how they perceive something, how they take something, whether or not they feel, I don't know, they feel like, I don't know if they feel like they were, I don't know, rejected, or if they felt like I did something to drive them away or something like that. Or anything like that. I take that very, because number one, I want to make sure, you know, it's got nothing to do with protecting me. And I'm not even going to talk about Run 8 right now as far as the developers or anything like that. Basically, I've gotten over whatever the hell, you know, was bothering me. And there's still stuff that bothers me, but that's, I've gotten over that. And I'm not worried about it because I did find a way last week, and like somebody posted on my forums, I always find a way, and I do. Sometimes it takes a little bit tougher. I had one of the worst weeks, stress-wise, at my current job, and I like my job. One of the worst weeks, but yet Saturday night came along, we had the Christmas party, and, you know, I was in a good mood. I'm not really thinking too much about work tonight, which is a good mood, which is a good sign. But I am going to try to get to bed early because just in case I wake up fairly early. But I've had 2 good nights sleep. Slept in the last 2 nights, no problem. Had some weird dreams, but anyways. I think my stress level will be fine. Things look like they might be cooling down at work a little bit. So I'm hoping to get a good start to clean up things at work. But anyways, enough about work. I wanna deal with this particular issue, and I'm gonna use names since people are calling me out. So I replied to this, and this is over on the Train Sim forums, and this is an example. So we had this. I have been all over the map here with various things. Now, you know, there's discussions, and I've been pretty, you know, I was pretty vocal about some of the changes that happened with Run 8, especially after apparently I got somebody's attention. So I post very detailed messages, and you know, I specify stuff like it's their business, blah blah blah. You know, all the other stuff. So, anyways, Ezra, he was on RTS for one time. I would say he's disgruntled. He comes on, you know, dear me, please don't take this the wrong way. Whenever somebody starts with don't take this personally or don't take it, you know they're going to touch a nerve. So saying don't take it the wrong way, first of all, I'm the type of person that's going to take things personally. So if you know, if I feel an attack's coming, I'm like, okay, well, how am I supposed to take it? In one breath, you shower Run 8 with praise and subtle admonition, whatever. Admirably, you express thankfulness for Run 8. On the other hand, you're lamenting about their development cycle and release doctrine. This is what I wrote. RTS is still a community, a dying one, but still a community. What I don't appreciate, and I knew this would happen even when trying to be balanced in both my praise and concerns for Run 8, is no longer recognized by Run 8 as a community. Now, there is a little ... in there, so I'm not going to take you through everything in this. Clearly, RTS is codependent upon Run 8 development cycle. Maybe this is an unhealthy source of your frustration, even though you contribute a great deal to the Run 8 community. RTS in reality is me. In the past, you often expressed your particular incentive concerning multiplayer, which is about you first and community second. Okay, I get this, but such a public attitude never goes over well on any community, even if it is free, as you claim. What I do for community is currently free and has been. Okay. Nothing in life is free. Free is a myth. Free has no conditions, otherwise it is not free. Here I go philosophizing again. Okay. I watch good people come and go. So-called free RTS community in the past 2 years. Peak of Run 8's upgrades. Maybe AI had something to do with it. That says something about a chief RTS developer as well. Nothing is free. Everything has a price and a future point of worlds. Failure is reality. Free is a myth. Well, there is things in life that are free, as far as I'm concerned. The best things in life are free. Have you ever heard that term? Yeah. There's people contribute. They might contribute time, which is a resource. So if you consider a resource, well, okay, that's not free. Taking time to reply to a message, taking time to do this YouTube video. This isn't about saving face or saving my reputation or anything like this. No, this is about taking time, which I guess is a cost, but to me this is free. This is my free time. Whether or not I'm spending it, I just look at it as, okay, it's something for me to do right now besides go to bed. I don't consider it a cost. I don't consider it wasting my time. I consider it just something I'm doing. So that's why I say money and time are both resources. Read the forum posts that you supported me on the forums. These are people who got into Run 8 apparently because of my dedication. So there have been people who have gotten into Run 8 because of my dedication. They've expressed this. I'm not saying everybody does, because they could come into RTS and they get in because of me. Don't need to prove that to you. I suppose the other side of is, did something I say hurt Run 8? That is a theory. Unless I can see the proof, I cannot verify it. So as far as my butthurt feelings about being removed from a magical list, so be it, which is pretty much what I feel. I'm having fun once again, which I am. Unlike the version 1 days where advertising was critical, I'm doing just fine. YouTube subscribers continue to climb, and the videos, though not peak viewership, still have a good following. And I'm reading this to you guys for those that aren't on the Train Sim forums. because I want, this isn't about Ezra either. This is, you know, I've already replied to Ezra. He's got this. I just want to make sure that other people know what I'm talking about. The forums in the community, and anyone can talk about what they want. Unlike some places that forbid conversations or critique a critique of or critique of a program. In others, if you criticize Run 8, you get censored. You get told no, you're not allowed to say that. People advertise their non-RTS servers all the time on my forums. That's what I should have said. They are free to critic Run 8, myself, or anything because of one fact. I don't own the RTS Wikia. I'm just the founder. That, sir, is a community. And that's what the RTS Wikia is. It's a community. Can't explain it. Whether it's small, communities can be very, very small. They can be very large. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I said, I think the issue you have is a personal one with me. As for your comments, keep on philosophizing. It is very amusing. And it is. And I don't take it personally. I just look at this. This seems to be a common thing with a lot of people. So you get one side where people are very gracious to me. Then you get the other side where the majority of people are totally neutral. They don't praise me. They don't criticize me. They just do their thing. Because quite frankly, I'm not that big and I'm not that relevant. You know, that's the truth. I only impact a certain micro niche of this niche called Run 8. Okay? So, and I've always had the forum that way. I've always had RTS that way. I've never been out there to be the biggest or the best, though I believed in my heart of hearts that I could be big by keeping to my values and my vision for what I felt was going to make it realistic, because I thought, well, people come to Run 8 because of the realism, the prototype, and all that. RTS has the potential to be the biggest server, and I always felt we had that. And we've been up there, but we've never been the biggest. You know, that's just the reality. It's like operations being a swear word in model railroading. That's just the way it is. Finding real operating model railroads between all the ones that just have, you know, basically glorified social clubs, or just like to, you know, run around in circles or do a lot of scenery or something like that. There's a lot of that out there. So anyways, moving on with this. So I am certainly by no means the norm as far as Run 8 goes. So perhaps being off that magical list, maybe that's appropriate. But yet there's two people right now who are seeking my guidance in developing an RTS-inspired program to work with version 2. Never had that happen with version 1. So perhaps there is a more of a demand that I'm unaware of. Maybe there is a growth in Run 8 that I'm unaware of. I haven't seen it in these forums. I don't think I've seen it on public forums, say at the Run 8 Depot, which I do have access to. I may not be a member there, but I get to see it. What I don't get to see is the private forums of the Run 8 Depot, because I don't have access. I don't have access to any of it. I just happen to get to see it. And I can tell, at least from that perspective, those numbers are down. I also see the numbers, just like I used to monitor dams. I always check the pulse of what's going on in the entire community as best as I can. It's very hard to pinpoint, especially when there's so many forums out there, because everything now is so divided into people being creative and doing their own thing. And That's because they have the power to do so now, because they don't have to rely on the big servers anymore. They can just make their own worlds, get a few friends that they get along with, and they can have a great time. Kind of just like what I like to do in a way. But, you know, I'm still going to try to be there for people, and yeah, I'm going to have it based on my vision, because I'm the one who's going to put up a server if I'm going to put it up. So it isn't about what everybody else wants. Now, with the forum comes a different story. The forum, people can talk whatever the hell they want on the forum. The RTS Wiki, I don't care. Talk whatever you want. Difference between the communities and the server. But anyways, let me move on. So as for failures I've admitted to my own, I wouldn't call our 24/7 a failure. I passed it on. That's exactly what I did. Because, quite frankly, it was becoming big, and I wanted to create more. I wanted to do other things. Just running a 24/7 server for the sake of running a 24/7 server was not appealing to me. So others who have also been very grateful to me moved on their forums, and I support their cause. The Southwest servers, for example, the Southeast servers, they are all grateful to me. They've expressed their gratefulness, and they have moved on. Their servers and their communities, which are separate from RTS now, are grateful to me for getting them involved. And just because they're not as active or even part of the RTS forums per se, because they're busy doing their own thing, doesn't mean that they're not grateful. A lot of people have passed through RTS and they're still grateful to me, just because they don't post on my forums. So I ain't worried about that. I appreciate their support, and I'm glad I've inspired them to do other things. I'm glad I'm inspiring other programmers now. That's great. All I've asked from the programmers, by the way, is just mention my name in the documentation, and I did. It's passing it on. I did the same thing for developers that have inspired me. So RTS can go on regardless of Run 8 development cycle, absolutely. Absolutely. However, with Run 8, without Run 8, I should say, there would be no RTS, and that's absolutely true. At least not in this form. I don't know what RTS would be without Run 8. Want to know my failures? Here's a list, and it does not include 24/7. RTS version 1 software also was not a failure. It was a success. It had its bugs, but it was a success. It's a success that is inspiring another programmer with my blessings. I actually have a second one since this message. So it's a success that is inspiring another programmer with my blessings to take my concepts and apply them in Run 8 version 2. Since I posted this message, there's a second person who has contacted me, Steve Bradley. And I believe, although he hasn't confirmed this, I believe he's the one that inspired me back in the MSTS days. He didn't say that. I'm not too sure because my memory's not the greatest, but I believe he's the one that wrote the MSTS software. So now we're inspiring each other, I think, which is kind of ironic. He didn't say that in his email, though, so I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm getting the names mixed up. I'd have to take a look at my documentation, but I forget the name now. It's been so long since who inspired me. There's a lot of things that inspired. Two things that inspired me was the software for MSTS and Freight Manager or Yard Manager or something. Not Freight Yard Manager, but it was some switch list program for Model Railroad. Anyways, again, that is a success and something I contributed to the entire Run 8 community free. Anyone can download at any time. No catches. Not catches for free. But the failures, sorry, need another paragraph because here comes the failures. When I backed out of 24/7 developed version 2, any ideas I had pushing forward, it was a failure. Fortunately, I don't do much, so lost very little time. RTS Bakersfield project was a failure. RTS Selkirk project was a failure. Development for Waycross I don't think counts as a failure since I've moved on to the Sanford sub. It could one day be used. for Waycross, in other words. So I don't consider that one a failure, but I do consider the other two. And I learned some mistakes from Waycross that is helping me with Sanford. And I would have been running Sanford tonight had I not had the emergency, but I was so looking forward to it too. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. I can't wait till tomorrow night, but you know something? Things happen, so RTS Sanford sub is in place because I learned from said failures. That is what all successful people do, because that is how you learn. The failures wasn't because of anyone in my community, it was simply boredom. So the former RTS servers live on with very little change on their own forums now for Southeast and Southwest. They are not a failure. And that legacy comes from, by the way, comes from RTS. And they have both. I'm in their gratitude. Make no mistake about it, there's no hard feelings between the three of us. We were a tight-knit community at one time, and yeah, we've moved on and separated to do our own things because that's how they needed to grow. There was nothing personal about what they did. Absolutely nothing. No hard feelings. Nothing to take the wrong way. This whole thing between Ezra and I tried to explain to him in a YouTube video. And I don't want to get into the whole backstory, but basically he took it the wrong way. And he's telling me I'm taking things the wrong way. He took something the wrong way. This is how this all started. Because I basically said in a YouTube stream that I was going to kick him or something like that. And he didn't, and he took that very personally. And it wasn't because I was being mean, it wasn't because I was being a dictator or anything like that. Well, there's dictatorship mode. It was because I didn't know what was going on and we couldn't communicate. It wasn't because I was banning him. Banning him is totally different than kicking. I was saying I was kicking because it was disrupting the server at the time. He's never let that one down. In other words, he took it the wrong way. So Ezra, if you're out here watching this video, which I don't think you are, but I do get thumbs down from time to time on different videos, and maybe I'll get another one for this. You took that the wrong way, my friend. Well, you're not my friend, but anyways, you took that the wrong way. And I'm giving you and anybody else the gratitude because I've seen them come and go. The people who have put my name and run it through the mud. You just amuse me now. This is amusement for me. I was bored for an hour. I had nothing better to do. I don't have any cable. I've been watching YouTube with my son all weekend between playing video games, okay? This is amusement for me. Do I sound like I'm angry? Do I sound like I'm vengeful? Do I sound like I really care? All I'm doing is I'm just telling my side of the story. And sharing something that perhaps people don't understand what's going on. So this is the train sim. Not everybody's on the train sim forum. So moving on. Just because I want more out of something doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just like if you wanted more out of RTS, it apparently didn't happen. Our community is doing just fine, both people who run sessions with me and those who simply participate in the forums. Run 8 is the best simulator on the planet, and it's kept me very busy for 6 years. Just because I didn't like the direction of something doesn't mean what I do is a failure. We've had about 1 year to see what version 2 has to offer. It has changed 24/7 in many ways to the point I'm not interested in it. A lot of people still are, and that's okay. That's cool. If they're interested in it, more power to them. There's plenty of 24/7 servers out there, including, I believe, both Southwest and Southeast servers, and many others. Run 8 Depot, you name it. There's all kinds of 24/7 servers out there. Southeast server is on 24/7. They can do, I think, pretty much anything into that side of the registry. The Southwest server runs just like the RTS California server did, where you can't run mainline trains without a dispatcher, but you can still switch and do whatever else. Lost my place here. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay. The pros outweigh the cons. I have stressed how I would like to see something smaller. I have also mentioned editors and fixing the spawn system. Really, that is all that concerns me. Not much of a big deal. But it's a communication coming down the pipe that I don't see. And if you take a look at this forum, even in this thread, you will see other people who have felt the same way, and you will see former people who have basically disappeared from Run 8 altogether who felt the same way too. Okay? This isn't my idea. This is something that is spread. And just because I love Run 8, and I do, doesn't mean I can't be critical of it. You see what I'm saying? I can say that all in the same sentence. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you know how much value Run 8 has given to me? And continues to give to me to this day. Despite what being on a goofy little list or whatever that I did appreciate being on. I would have appreciated to still be on it, but that's okay. No hard feelings. I understand. That's how they feel. That's okay. It's totally okay with me. Water under the bridge, I don't care. And the only reason why I'm doing this video is basically to share with you my side of the story and to set the record straight to people who are trying to tarnish my image. Because I do care about my image, at least. I suppose that's makes me a bit of a hypocrite because I do care about what people do think about me, which is unfortunate because I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care, but yet I do. Does that make sense? I don't know. I strive not to care, but then I do care because I actually do care. I care about a lot of people. When people have problems, I post responses. I try to help people out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a caring person. So where are the Run 8 developers? Okay, sorry. I've also mentioned editors, fix this, blah, 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 blah. Communication down the pipe, and I don't see where the Run 8 developers... Where are the Run 8 developers on Train Sim? I've seen Mikey, Jason, and Jim. They have always reached out, but they can't speak to any direction of the program itself. In other words, before I say that last sentence, Jim and Jason especially, no disrespect to Jim, but Jason has been prominent as far as I would say the direction of project, and I know Jim has done a lot of work as well. So I'm not downsizing. Jason I look to as more of the figure behind Florida. That's just me. Seems to be the driving, and I know Jason praises Jim. I'm not trying to disrespect Jim, but Jason has reached out to me. He has, but he can't tell me anything that's going on. He's under a non-disclosure. I'm under a non-disclosure still. So in other words, even if he knows what's going on, which he probably doesn't, quite frankly, because it's very tight. Even when you're in a non-disclosure agreement, those things can be very tight as far as the direction of the program. Even when I was in the beta team, I didn't necessarily know all the direction of the program and what was going to be done and etc. So why something gets removed, etc. You know, same with Mikey. So they can't, whereas the programmer and Brad can, because they are the owners. So the buck stops with them. You see what I'm saying? They're not on the forums, and that's okay, but they are on other forums. And again, that's their choice. It's their program. It's their software. It'd be nice to see them communicate with the entire community, but hey, they select the most popular forums or the ones they like, and that unfortunately leads to rumors when people aren't necessarily part of those groups. This has always been an issue with me and many others, I might add, for a few years now, I would think. Anyways, again, I found happiness in Florida in the last 24 hours, which probably equates now to, I don't know. Well, of course, I've had my weekend, but the last 5 days or so. Perhaps I'm just bored and burnt out too. Not a big deal. Actually, I'm not bored and burnt out now. I can guarantee you that. Um, I'm only doing this right now because I only had an hour and I wasn't going to get into it tonight. And I'm going to bed as soon as I finish this. Um, just because my sleep cycle lately. But anyways, I come here almost daily. Actually, I've been here several times today. Just like my forums and try to help others, that is a community. Just like I do the same in my emails and my own forums. Now, if the server and any rules is not to your liking, yes, I have the ultimate decision to decide the direction. Just like Run 8 had the ultimate decision to decide their direction. Is any of this getting through to you? And that's a personal question. Apparently not. And I'll show you why. Like I said, it seemed to me you're disgruntled because RTS didn't fit what you expected. You're welcome to post to our forums anytime and debate your theories and ideas. Nobody is pulling the plug on you. You can even join the server you want. I have no issues. But when I'm running a server that I own, yes, I have the ultimate decision. Run 8 can also decide who they want to sell something to. They've done it in the past. That is a privilege of owning something. So, here was the reply to that. Wow. Sean wrote, is any of this getting through to you? Did you even read my short, simple post number 36? Yes, I did. I even reread it now. Before you went on another long-winded, pedantic... I'm sorry, I don't know that word. I guess I'm not smart enough. I thought it was pretty intelligent. I'm not sure. I'd have to look up that word. Argument which lacks coherence. Doesn't that sound personal to me? I'm not supposed to take things the wrong way, but is any of this getting through to you? That's just a question. Pedantic argument which lacks coherence. Obviously, you took it the wrong way, as I prefaced in the column. There is your proof. But did that say anything getting through to you? You didn't answer that question. I already got your point. My point is easy. You slam and praise Run 8 in the same breath, and it's getting ridiculous. Then you call it personal. And is any of this getting through to you? Jeez, unbelievable. Am I saying geez, unbelievable? No. I even say thanks. My usual. It's a discussion. Do I sound like I'm personal or upset, or do I care? And yeah, I'm taking what, 30 minutes into a YouTube video now? Wow. So in other words, it's not getting through to you. So the definition of failure and a waste of time. Hopefully I learned that lesson too. No, I haven't learned that lesson because apparently I'm still wasting my time, I guess. But hopefully, you know, you guys let me know if I'm wasting my time. Let me know. I don't think it's wasting my time. I got nothing better to do except watch boring old YouTube videos that really I don't care about. I do care more about this. I care more about setting the record straight. I care about my image. I do care about my image. I hate image, though. Just because I care about my, you know, at the same time I hate image. We're too imagey in society. Everybody's wearing, you know, smartphones and what they look like. You know, my place looks like a pigsty. I don't care about image. That's the real me. My, I don't know what. My Wikia hasn't been updated, like the front pages and, you know, all the splash screens and all that in ages. But what I do care about is people. I do care about people. Don't have that many close friends, but I do care about people. I do care about if people feel as if I hurt them or something. If they feel I wrong them, I do care about that. If people have the wrong impression of me, I do care about that. What I don't care about is if it's just pure hatred, or I can't help somebody or whatever, or I don't know. You know, or people have a certain opinion of me because, well, they never dealt with anything, or they're jealous, or I don't know what. I don't care about that. That kind of thing. If I can't help them with that. But when somebody is starting to debate me and then, you know, whatever. Here's a shorter post, try to get you to the point with substance. Of course, I'm doing this video now. I have no idea if he's going to read these videos or watch them or whatever. It don't matter. That's why, you know, I'm doing this. It's more for entertainment purposes and maybe trying my best to save face, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's to say, am I missing something, guys? Is there something in here that I took the wrong way, like you said? You know what I'm saying? So no, Ezra, I answered your question of how I could be praising yet critical. There is a difference. My point is, I'm not worried about whether you or anybody else thinks. Well, I'm not worried about what Ezra thinks. I can't change what Ezra thinks. Nor do I think this video is going to, because I don't think he's part of that audience. What I care about is the people who support me. I care about the people who are on the fence. I care about the people who may be interested, but, you know, might get the bad idea of what I'm about and kind of on the fence and don't understand it. So yeah, in that sense, yeah, I do care what people think, I suppose. But, you know, words are words. Sometimes people... but first of all, let me just say this. I am by no means perfect. By no means. Nor is anybody else. So when I say something, I may say something and say it the wrong way, or... You know, this is why I try to define myself as best as I can. And try to give people as much of a welcoming stance at RTS as I can, but at the same time I also set to my own standards with my forum, or not my forums, I should say. The forums are the forums. There's really not much rules on the forums. You can post anonymous, for crying out loud. It's a wikia, whoopie-doo. I don't even own the wikia, but anyways. The servers, that's a little different story, but really the servers, at least my server, has become... I don't know. There's hardly any... I mean, I won't be using a registry, I can tell you that. I don't think so. Things have changed a lot with version 2. Especially now that we're not 24/7. And I'm running sessions again. So a lot has changed since the issues that I think Ezra's having, but I don't know. I'm not his psychiatrist, so whatever. So no, yeah, I said that, blah, blah, blah. My point is, I'm not worried about whatever... Yeah, okay. Yet I care enough to try yet again. See what I mean? So I'm basically saying the same thing I'm telling you guys, which is stupid on my part, as it's a waste of time. I don't know if it's stupid. Now, I said that there, yet here I am again. This isn't on my mind. This is kind of something I thought, well, yeah, I got an hour, I got nothing better to do. And I really can't develop anything at the moment. I could, but I figured, I'm not going to sleep right away. I'm going to be going to bed, like I said, after this video, but I'd go to bed normally at 11, but I'm going to try to sleep afterwards. Because I got to get up a little earlier tomorrow. Not much, but I was simply offering my own analysis. It's called a discussion. I simply countered your arguments since you wanted to go there. What might be ridiculous to you is not to me. Since I didn't try to explain my actions, I am clearly wasting my time trying. To him, perhaps, but to others, nah. And I'm going to get thumbs down for this video. I know I am. Trust me, the pretty choo-choos will be back tomorrow, and I'll be switching, so the thumbs up will happen. If you guys aren't interested in this drama, you know what to do. Just don't worry about this stuff. So I guess that is my proof, as you say. Mine is already on the record. So I answered your concerns and countered with some of mine. Are you the only one that can question your subtle polemic? Whatever the hell that is. I did take the time to answer your post since you didn't respond. I'd have to look up what the hell that is. Perhaps I should... Maybe I need to look that up. No, forget it. Since you didn't respond to my question or concerns, not sure if you did mine, you already made your point. No one counter-argument from you, so we can have a discussion. Nobody here is going to care about the personal issue between you and I. And that's the truth. Nobody is going to care about this personal issue. I may get some support. I may get some people who might see your side of the story and try to perhaps persuade me. So far, nobody has come to me and said, "No, Sean, I see Ezra's point. You know, you're taking this the wrong way. Blah blah blah." Okay, I'm open to that. Like I said, you guys, if you guys think I am, by all means, send me an email, send me a message, send me an anonymous post. I don't care. Tell me I'm doing something wrong. Tell me I'm not perfect. It's okay. I can live with it. I can handle it. I'm open to that. Yeah, you might get a counter argument from me. Be prepared. Because I'm very strong when it comes to my stance on things. And hey, but I'm also willing, I've been very humble to admit my mistakes in the past, including in this thread. So, we all make mistakes. I'm not perfect. So I don't need to justify my feelings or passions yet. I tried, and obviously I'm wasting my time. No, I'm not wasting my time. This was important. This thread has been a good discussion with a lot of interest. Nothing personal, Ezra, as you suggested. And it's not. It's nothing personal. I can sleep easy at night, and I'll sleep easy tonight now that I've put that onto YouTube audience. So, there you have it, folks. So, I guess that's a little bit of drama for this evening. I didn't know what else to put in there. But let's get back to, if you're still stuck with me this long, I do appreciate you sticking with me. It's 10:40. I'm going to get going in a few minutes here. As you know, as far as the whole thing with Florida, everything's looking good. Tomorrow night, now I don't have to go over that again. I may put a mention in the video, but tomorrow, now that I got that out of the way, I can concentrate tomorrow on just having fun with the trains and dealing with the simulation. Because I hate to mix all that in. I just like to enjoy the ride sometimes and, you know, maybe have some fun with you guys, instead of dealing with all this backwards political crap. Because, you know, I don't really want to get into all these political things. And yeah, I'm going to have my opinions about Run 8 once in a while. And honestly, the whole thing about Run 8 and their direction really isn't affecting me at the moment, because I was able to get around. I usually find a way of getting around their issues. I find a way of making it work for me. Sometimes it takes a little while. Sometimes it takes a little bit of thinking. Sometimes it takes a little bit of problem solving. I'm very good at that. And it took me a little while to find it, but I was able to find my little niche in Florida. To have to go down to the Sanford sub was probably, I would say, the best decision I have made since the dismantlement of 24/7 from my end. And I know that's not going to help for those who have California. I wish I could help. All I can say is, you know, at least A-Line, you know, A-Line, you're gonna love that route. It's got the Folkestone funnel. I'm not saying you gotta buy it or whatever, but, you know, that's one route you may want to look into, because it's a fun route. Let me just, I can't really look at other than the maps here. Yeah, let me do this here. I'll tell you why it's a fun route, then I'll let you guys go here. Oh, it's not documents, it's in pictures, isn't it? Let me just go here real quickly here, and I will find the A-Line map, courtesy of Run 8 Depot, who, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of their forums, but or some of their policies, but Sean does an awesome job, and I keep using them just like everybody else. So we're not using this section, but that's okay. I mean, this is a great yard, Jacksonville. There's a lot of industry. Sorry, that's not even the yard. That's the ramp. We are using the ramp as far as starting our trains. This is where some of our trains will be spawning from, as well as coming out of the B yard, I think it is. Something like that. One of these. I think it's this one. This lead right here. This is where the trains are spawning from, is off of CO1, I think. So we've got trains that are spawning in here, and then they're going through, not dealing with these yards here. We're not dealing with even a few of the first few industries like Duroc area, but everything else beyond that we're using. Now, what makes this so much fun? Look at all these industries if you want to switch them. Various yards. There is tons of industries. You are not going to find any more industries in all of Run 8 than this section. This is just jam-packed with industries. And I find this scenic. It's for me, it's not as scenic as... Now, the funny thing is, these are the guys that created most of the scenery for the Northeast, for Selkirk and Mohawk. I find, just because of the location they're at, I love the Mohawk River and the Hudson River and all that other stuff. So for me, and even some of the hills and the trees, I really like how Mikey's got that laid out. Unfortunately, beyond Albany and the Hudson River and a few of the other things, a lot of it's just double track mainline, and unfortunately the trains tend to run at about the same track speed, no matter what the tonnage is. So for me personally, it just gets rather boring. That's just me. I'm not just me. I suppose other people think that too. It has nothing to do with Mikey. It is the most beautiful route, but this section of the route is very good. I find the scenery, there's a lot of grade, you don't see it, but there's a lot of grade crossings, a lot of speed changes. You got to be on your toes. It's mainly flat, it's mainly fast. You can get through this really quick. We did it in an hour and a half getting up to Pecan Yard here. So I am in the, I believe I'm in the siding now. I will be tomorrow. I imagine tomorrow night sometime. Late tomorrow evening, I'll be in Pecan siding, and I will be setting off in 101 and 102 before heading. It took me an hour and a half to get, I think it was about an hour and a half to get down that far. And this is the one supply train, so I'll be going through all this, and then we will make it to Rand's Yard, which I'll have to set up a few other things. So I'll probably be in the siding here for South Sanford, and we'll be switching in this yard. I have to set up a couple industry tracks, so I don't know how long that's going to take. 765, let me see here. 765 to, well, that's going to take at least 2 hours. So at least we're going to start off with action. We may have to stop, save, and set up some industry tracks, or I can set it up while things are going on. We already have at least one train that's spawning northbound and another southbound behind me, so we should see some meet action tomorrow, both possibly a meet and a overtake from an intermodal that's coming behind me pretty soon. I don't know if we'll get down to Taft, but once the supply train drops off, then daylight will come, and from there, once the daylight comes, that's when I'm going to start running the locals. I plan on running all the locals and testing them out and seeing how they go. What I probably will end up doing is well, I can't do the evening train, but what'll happen is I will probably run, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I haven't figured it out. I was thinking about this the other day. I want to give as much daylight as possible. So I really haven't set the times just yet, but I want to give as much daylight as possible so that the locals have more than enough time to switch those yards before the return train comes. And I think what'll happen is the return train will come into Jacksonville and immediately have another train go back out. for the next day's supply, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but we'll see how that goes. But anyways, this is a cool route to get. I highly recommend it, and I know Waycross is awesome. Okay, Waycross is awesome. The hump is awesome. There are some issues with Run 8 that actually affect Waycross more than others, simply because what happens is Waycross has the longest bull tracks, and you have to trim that yard very early. If you don't, you're going to run into problems. You don't see it so much in California because it's a shorter yard. I'm not too sure about the other ones. I hear California is not too bad. So perhaps this issue kind of started rearing its head further down the line, or because of an update. I'm not sure. So anyways, I'm going to end that here. Appreciate you coming in. Feel free, like as always, to comment, criticize. Let me know. I always appreciate your opinions, your emails, support, disagreements, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I'm always open to suggestions, criticisms, whatever else you guys have on your mind. That's fine by me. Like I said, I check the forums, I check my emails on a regular basis, and I try to reply to as many comments, if not all. I'm not that big, so I am in a position where I can reply to most comments, and I was even trying to help a few people on YouTube over the weekend. So I try my best. As long as I'm not too big, I can continue to do that. Once I get, if I ever get as big, and we are growing, but if I ever get big enough where I have massive amounts of comments, I may not be able to get to all of them, but I will try my best and read as much as I can. But for now, I'm reading them all. Every comment that I see come through my email, I read. I try my best to help, comment right back, start discussions, especially on the forums. The Wikia, I will always be able to do that. So just keep it coming, guys, and hopefully you know, you see some crap out there and you want to, you want to know more, or if you don't want to know more, or whatever. If you don't want to know more, just ignore it. If you do want to know more, feel free to call me out on these things. Feel free to talk to me. Feel free to ask me questions, and I'll let you know how I feel about them. I'll let you know, what's on my mind. So forums are there for you guys. That is your forums. That's not, that is not mine. It's a wiki. It's a community. As far as my server goes, well, yeah, my server is going to be about me and my vision, but I'm always open to opinions. I'm always open to suggestions. But ultimately, the way the servers run will be my decision ultimately. But I will heavily rely on Run 8 to continue to moving forward. So either, right now they're doing what I need. They've done enough for me to find a way. And that's all there is to it. And hopefully they grow. Hopefully I'm wrong and they continue to grow, and they continue to surprise us. They've done it before. So I expect surprises to come. I expect more positive things to come than any concerns I have. The concerns that come to me were based upon my fears that I would have to give this up, and I don't want to give Run 8 up. And fortunately, I found a way. So I'm not leaving Run 8, and it wasn't about being burnt out either. I really don't think so. I think it was about running the end of my course, and I didn't know what to do. So fortunately, now I think I know what to do. Hopefully I haven't made a mistake, and hopefully this one will be successful. I think it will be. And only time will tell. I have to give it a try. And I'm looking forward to that try. So hopefully you guys are around with me, and in January you guys will be running with me on the server, and we will see how it goes. And if the bottom line is, it's built so that I can run it on my own if necessary, but it works so much better when I can get more people on. So hopefully you'll be in a position, buy yourself an early Christmas present if you don't have Run 8. Get the A-line route. I'm not promising I'm going to be there forever, but just get it. Just get A-line because you want A-line. check it out. Check out some of the YouTubes that I do in the following weeks or whatever. It's a great route to start yourself on the Florida journey, and you can do Waycross too if you want. I mean, but if you're gonna like the switching, you're gonna like big long mainline runs. You're gonna like the A line. So, anyways, that's it for now. I've rambled on long enough. So, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow night. Talk to you later. Have a good one.